Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to write a song in the style of deathcore. This includes bands like Lorna, Shadow of Intent. At the end, my friend Jeremiah is going to go in and he's going to record the vocals and show you guys a little bit about that process as well. All right, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I do every time I do this, a lot of times I will go and I'll quickly listen to Lorna Shore or Shadow of Intent for like 2 seconds just to get an idea of the vibe. You want something that's melodic, dark, epic is basically the vibe. So sometimes I need a refresher because I'm like feeling a little too happy, you know what I mean? And I need to go and be like, okay, this is dark, like no happiness. So the first thing I do is I usually hum a melody. I come up with some sort of a melody. So the way I come up with a melody is I will literally just come up with it in my head. Sometimes I'll fiddle with my guitar a little bit. Da-na-na-na-na. That's a good melody. So the first thing I will do is I'm going to go in now and I'm going to write that using this orchestration thingy called East-West. So I'm going to literally just take that melody, and I play it on guitar, and I'm going to take those notes and I'm going to just recreate them on here. I'm in drop G, by the way, on a 7-string. You got to end it with a squealy. It's very important. So we're going to take this, we're going to move it up an octave here because it's too low. And then, so we're gonna like let it repeat one time. Perfect. So that's a great melody right there. We can use that for the whole song. That's going to be like the main theme of the song. We're going to start with that, and we're going to take this thing I've created called Big Build. The reason why I'm going to use this stuff is because this video will literally be like 7 hours long if I like go and I recreate every piece of FX. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to start dragging and dropping deathcore MIDI. The reason why, so we're going to use my MIDI pack in Superior Drummer. I literally just don't know how else to do this quickly without using my MIDI pack, and they're all drum beats I like. So fill 7, get in there. So we're going to now grab a blast beat in here. That's a good one. It's me doing it, I promise. So yeah, we're going to have that going now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to now add the guitars in there. Cool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, we got to start thinking vocals, right? Like what do we want here? We can have like a really fast riff that I will end up punching in, or we can have we can go into something chunky. I think we're going to go into like a that riff actually sounds cool. Like when it's deathcore, you don't question anything. You grab another blast beat and you just throw that thing right in there. You just keep throwing blast beats in there. Like when in doubt, blast beat. So now we're going to write that whole part as orchestration. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add like a really heavy chugging riff, basically. Here. So yeah, so now we're just going to go with a chugging riff, like a jun, 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 jun. Blast beat. Okay. So when you write a breakdown, breakdowns are not about the chugging, it's about the pauses. The pauses are actually what make it good, or what make it good. Good. I don't know how to talk right now. All right. I also have an effect set up here using a heavy pedal. It's basically a HM2. That's what it's called. Cool. So we have a breakdown now. So we have all of this now. So we have an intro, we have a verse, we have a heavy verse, and then we go into a breakdown. So that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to write another part before we go into the first chorus. Also, we're going to take a sip of coffee, sponsored by yours truly, Dark Cabin Studios coffee cup. So next thing we're going to do is, what I imagine in my head is like we come out of this heavy breakdown, right? And then we go into like a some sort of like a blast beat, something kind of black metal sounding. So let's create a drum beat. I'm going to just make it from scratch. It's going to just be like a fast drum beat. Something like this. This is going to be underneath. This is going to be during the chorus. I try to, like, when I make the drum beats, I try and think, what has the song not had yet? It hasn't had this yet. It hasn't had this type of drum beat yet. I don't know why. I could be using my MIDI pack. I just want to show you guys that I actually know how to make drum beats too. I don't just have to rely on some forsaken MIDI pack or whatever. Point and click. The problem is, you can see if I had to do this for the whole song, I'd literally have to probably have a pillow so I could like lay here and sleep in between like writing the song. So then after that, we can go back into this riff again. Now we need a huge breakdown. So now I'm going to show you guys how you make one of those super long, ridiculous Lorna Shore type breakdowns. This is how you do it. So I already have an idea in my head. What I would like to do is start with just some really crazy, like, some machine gun shit. Jeez. So let's add like a little orchestra thing here to kind of build into like the main section of the breakdown. All right, let's hear this. Okay, so now we go into the main part. I already have it in my head. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Something stupid like that. Down. It's good to have like a doom, like a pause where people don't expect it. So when we repeat the chorus again, just for fun, I'll just do one quick little slam type breakdown, just for you guys. Something like that. That's it. So that's the whole instrumental writing section of this. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to record the bass. We're going to send you guys over to Jeremiah, and he's going to do the vocals and the lyrics and all that. And then we'll come back, I'll do the mix. I'll show you guys really briefly the mix, how I mix it, and then we're going to play through the whole song. So I'll see you there.
What's up, guys? I'm Jeremiah, and we're going to go over some lyric stuff with this song. When I first heard this, the intro reminds me of like a ballroom, like royalty ballroom dance. So I'm gonna use like that basic theme in my head when I'm writing this. So the first thing, I'm just gonna do like some scatting over it, just do some sounds that I think will work. I might try to match the guitars like rhythm wise. So I'm just gonna try something real quick and see if it works. Something where it's staccato like that. I'm not saying words, I'm just going da 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 da, and then I'll figure it out later. I think doing scatting like that can really help you get your phrasing down, and then if you do certain vowels, it can help you actually write lyrics. So I'm going da 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 da. So we're gonna go, the sun will never set. The sun will never set. Kingdoms will know to crash and burn. Da 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 da. So we need another one that's kind of like the first phrase. King's court will never last. The sun will never set. Kingdoms will know to crash and burn. King's court will never last. This peasant will stand. And this verse repeats, so I'll do something kind of similar. And the knights will fall to their knees, the ships will sink to the seas, the Commonwealth rise again. And then we'll go to the next part, which is, I call it verse 1x. Royal family has corrupted our minds, giving false hope to a system that's done. I could just repeat the first line that changed up the second line, but I think I might do something else. Royal family has corrupted our minds, giving hope to a system that's died, killing innocent children and wives as they sit upon their own throne of lies. His first breakdown, I might just do some long gurgles and noises that might repeat some of these words. I'll probably just repeat this last two lines. The chorus, I want to be like very deliberate and like it's very obvious what the song is about just by hearing the chorus. So the pre-chorus would be a little less deliberate. So we're gonna just go with that. I'll probably do highs to the first half and then do lows to the second half because I think that kind of fits pretty well. As they plan their parties and dance in ignorance, the lowers suffer as they can't afford something that rhymes with ignorance. They will know as we storm the bridges they have lost, as they had no clue what's something rhyming with bridges. So in my head, it's kind of coming together now, the story-wise. There's this rich royal class, and they're very ignorant, and they'll kill people. And then they're about to revolt, and that's the pre-chorus. Then the chorus would be them revolting. So let's find this cadence and some words that'll fit here. They will know as we storm the bridges they have lost as they live through a transgression. We'll get the chorus. The flames dance around the pillars. We've had enough of this. The flames dance around the pillars. We had enough of this kingdom of killers. The throne room will be reduced to ashes, and our king will be riddled with lashes. So I'll probably just repeat this and then change the last line, but I'll do this as just high screams. Ashes, well, what once was our king was killed by his taxes. Yeah, that works. And I'll go through the rest of the song and do like some different stuff too. Alright, so I did my tracking. It's been about an hour and a half-ish. I have all my mains done, and I double all my mains. Then in the parts that I didn't have any lyrics for, and I didn't want to figure them out, I just put some cool noises. Because like that's really all we're here for in this genre, is the animal noises and the gutturals at this point. The vocal Olympics genre. And then we repeat to the pre-chorus, and then at the ending we do a new thing. So I wanted to do that lo-fi intro thing, so I just took the ending lyrics and put them at the beginning, so it's kind of like they start with the song, then they end with the song. Here is the intro idea that I had. And then all that is what we did earlier. These are all done. I just got to do some editing, and I'm going to add some layers to them on the left or right sides, and then I'll send them off to Jacob.
Hey guys, so now I'm going to go over some mixing and how I mixed the song and what I did. So we're going to start with the vocals. The individual tracks for the vocals, for the main vocals, have Pro MB, just removing some like low, mids, low end stuff, gain reduction, and then a little tiny EQ move, just notching something. And those, so that's all of these are all of like the individual tracks, and they go to this vocal bus right here. So virtual mix rack is what I have on here. So I'm just doing all these little tiny moves. You might want to like pause the video and just like look at this foolishness. Hitting it with 2 different types of compressors, and we're just doing like 3 dB on each one. So then we're hitting a de-esser here. And then I do the same thing, but I do it for higher ones. So like 11,000 to like 14,000. I'll do the same thing. And then here we go. So here's my drawing that I made. I hope you guys like it. It's the Mona Lisa. So basically I cut out some low end. I just do tons of notching, just any kind of room sounds. Also, by the way, Jeremiah is an amazing vocalist. This isn't because his vocals aren't good or his recording isn't good. This is because I'm crazy. That's why I did so much. And then some decapitator. To recap, all of those individual tracks are going to this one, all right? Now this one is going to this one, this even bigger vocal bus. It's like vocal mixingception or something. It's just foolish. So these are all just balancing it. So I'll pull these down based on like what it needs for these different frequency ranges on Pro MB. And then I did some more notching here. And then you've got to have your VTM. So we have this small vocal plate here, and then we're going to go into these big delay throws. And then he also has his own FX track in there too that he provided, so that's doing stuff as well. So anyways, we have the small vocal plate, and then we have more amazing drawings. This one I was trying to draw like a turtle with this one. I hope you like it. But no, I'm just removing some mid-range and just all this foolishness here. I hope what you guys take from this is just like a general idea of how to do it, but you don't want to copy this. You just do something general. Like you're going to probably want to be cutting out mid-range and cutting out harshness and doing it in very small increments. And then we have soothe here, and I usually just use this setting. So, and then we have a doubler throw where I'll just throw a doubler on during some of the really intense parts or parts that I want to sound really big. And that will go on the whole bus. One thing I'm noticing, which is really weird, is there's no bus compression. I don't know why. There's supposed to be. I don't know why it's not here. But usually there's like a little tiny bit of SSL bus compression. The drums are Superior Drummer. Can I open this? I don't know. I'm scared. It's Superior Drummer Metal Machine combined with MDL Tone drums. So the kick drum, here's what we have here. SSL 4K, Pro Q, a cool little drawing there. Just cutting out mids, adding highs. Spiff, this is adding like a thwack, a punch attack to it. Old Faithful. This is called Old Faithful. This is just, I use this on everything, and this is just the settings I have in the kick. A little bit of sub, not going crazy. And then we have Decapitator. This is something I definitely came in afterwards. I added this in. So there's a trigger, so it's being layered with this other kick drum. And here's a snare drum. So it's basically the same chain as that. Just different moves on that chain, but the chain is the same pretty much. Way more compression on the parallel particles. JST heat instead of decapitator, because I just like the way it sounds more on snare. And then JST clip, and then we have automated EQ automation for the blast beats. So then we have snare trigger. No idea, just a random sample added in there. Our toms. Toms are basically the same as everything else. It's just the same general chain. Pro Q, spiff. Overheads, which is, these are Superior Drummer Metal Machine overheads, Metal Machinery. We have the 4K, which I'm just notching out harshness. We have this exciter track on the overhead. So on the exciter track, I am adding in all these things. Put it through FET compressor doing about 7 dB of gain reduction. And then that's going to an overhead bus, and this is what I did on the overhead bus. That's going to soothe. And then we have the rooms, 4K in the rooms, just EQing, mostly just getting rid of cymbal stuff. And then smash and grab, doing 7 dB of GR. That goes to a drum bus. You got your pull tech. This is my setting. I use this on every song. And then here's my API 2500. And then we have these 2 extra kick and extra snare from the MDL, which are just being layered in there. And they're muted in the intro because they're super loud in the intro. Now we're on to bass. So for the bass amp, So before it hits the bass amp, we have this EQ. I always EQ my DIs. I don't care if the strings are brand. Dark glass amp on my Winky Face preset, and then we're cutting out all the low end, and then that goes into 1176. So the bass is split up, sub, amp, and then the clank. And then you have bass rider here before it hits the amp, and then you hit the amp peg, and then we're cutting out all the high end, or basically not high end, we're just cutting out everything above 200 and notching out a little bit of like resonant weirdness. Then we have a spreader, and this is just CLA bass. I just like the way it sounds. And then we have track spacer. It's being sidechained to the kick drum. And we have a clank track here. So this is like a high-end bass track. We have this EQ. We have this EQ. And then it's going to this rat pedal here. Guitar DI-L. So we have this on the guitar DI. And then we have Transify. Same thing. It just makes the chug sound way, way beefier if you do this. We have heavy pedal on the sweet setting, only on the breakdowns. This is just my Tone X on my 5150 here. MLC, Sub-Zero, just the cab on this thing. These are my settings, pretty much default almost. So that's the amp, right? And now we have the actual mixing of it. We have a 4K. This is my EQ on the guitars, adding more mid-range. And then we're hitting it with the VTA. And then you hitting it with a Renaissance axe. I'm always using this. All right, so that's basically it. So that's the whole thing. I'm hoping that wasn't a lot, but I know it was. I think some of you guys will get a lot out of this. I think if I do a dedicated mixing video, it would be a lot easier instead of me just talking as fast as I possibly can while I go through a bunch of stuff. But that's the mix for the song. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you enjoyed listening to the song, and I hope you guys learned a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.